Hey, 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 how are y'all doing? Happy Thursday, y'all. I made it. Listen, the straight up goal is to do this earlier. That is the for real, like real life goal. Honest to goodness. All right. So we got Instagram, we got it over here so I can see my Facebook peeps. The goal is to do this thing earlier. All right. As y'all come in, drop your name and where are you watching from? All right, I think I'm ready, y'all. That's the goal, honey. I don't plan on doing these late night parties, but when I tell you this, um, life be life, and so mommy do these calls today. My son has a test, and he lost the paper, and we did the best we can. So y'all lift my baby up in prayer as he takes the test tomorrow. Um, yeah, as he takes the test tomorrow. All right, listen, guys, I do not plan to be before you long because this is one of my priorities for the week. Hey, Akimi and Tiffany, the Empress from Instagram. So this is my priority. This week I need to get back to my regular sleep schedule. Okay, I I told y'all I burned the midnight oil multiple times this week. Multiple. There were multiple occasions where I burned the midnight oil, and I actually thought, it was a good thing. I said, I'm being productive and I'm getting these things off my list. But what I found is that for me, the way that it affects the following day, I'm not designed. Hey, hey, Patty Brown. Listen, I'm not designed to do it, so I'm trying to get to bed on time, and I'm typically in the bed, by 10 ish. Um, and I haven't done that all week. Have not done it now. Hey, from Mississippi. What's your real name? Akimi the educator. Do we know each other? Dr. Akimi, I'm from Mississippi. Or did you know that? So anyway, I need to be in the bed. So listen, this is what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about I've had several conversations today. Just different conversations where people are like, I really don't know what to do next. And I thought about, it can't just be this small group of people who are experiencing like, what do you do when times are uncertain? When you don't really know like what the next step look like. Because one thing about us as people, we like to be comfortable or our version of comfortable, what we think is comfortable, right? Yeah, now I don't want to be a night owl, Sam. I'm trying not to be. I'm trying to be an early riser, but it's not working out that way. But as people, we really want to be comfortable. So when we get in these seasons where we don't know like what's next or what's going to be next, like it could be a lot of things. It could be things related to work. It could be the economy. It could be relationships. It could be things that are happening out in the world, personal things that are happening with you. Just these times where we're like, I'm not really sure what's about to happen next. And a lot of times I believe the things that we're doing, we're making it worse. So I wanted to give you just some tips or some things that I shared today with the people that I talked to about what do you do when there are uncertain times? Like you're not really sure about what's next. So this is what I want to say. Number one, the first requirement is for you to have faith. This is what I have realized when I have experienced uncertain times. Like, if God gave me all the details, all the steps, told me everything and how it was going to go, it wouldn't require much faith for me to make it. All right. But when I literally don't know what's about to happen next and I still choose to trust Him, that requires some faith. Right. And so we're not going to always know all the steps, but we have to have a belief that it's going to be okay. I think that there are some things though that we do, like in the way that we think, that you could kind of get a handle on. All right. So the first thing I think that you should do is focus on the things that you can control. A lot of times when we're going through times where we're not sure what's next, it can be overwhelming and it is difficult to get it off of your mind. Like you have it on your mind, you're thinking about it all the time, and you're dwelling on stuff that you have no ability to change. You are ruminating. That's what I call it, ruminating on things that you cannot change. All right. So I always try to say, okay, what can I do? So, for example, my son, this is an example. This ain't got nothing to do with uncertain times, but my son lost that paper today. I'm like, okay, I didn't text the teacher. It's late. She ain't probably going to respond. What can I do? So I want you to shift the focus to, and this is in all areas of your life. what can I do? Because we have a natural tendency to focus on what is not possible, what we can't do. All right. So you really have to change your the way you think. You might have to change some things that you're doing in your daily routine, right? When things are uncertain or like, you're not sure about what's next, it is a good idea to create some stability by having you some good solid habits and some good routines. Hey, Dana, have you some good solid habits and some good routines to help you during those times, right? If you just go through the day and start allowing things to happen to you, that's going to stress you out more. So take some time and think about, okay, what is under the umbrella of my control? And then start focusing on that. Make the best out of whatever you can control and try your best to not focus on the things that you can't do anything about anyway. All right. The other thing is you have to be willing to make adjustments for the season that you're in. Life does not look like this bed of roses. My pastor says there's no such thing as a problem-free space. All right. So we have to become people who can pivot, make adjustments, and adapt, change our plans, be flexible. When the situation requires for us to change and we have to quickly pivot, we got to be able to do that. Okay. And change the way you look at it. Be open. Look at it as an opportunity, right? Because every time you overcome like a circumstance, you get stronger. All right. So in the moment, I know we are not thinking it. We're not thinking, thank you, Lord, for this adversity because I am getting stronger. It's usually on the other side of the adversity. So it helps me to think about things that I've overcome already, right? It helps me to think about the times when I was like, I wasn't sure how I was going to make it, but he made a way. When I focus on those things, I'm more confident that this situation will be the same. All right. The next thing you got to do is take really, really, really good care of yourself. This is not the time to play. All right. So you have to make sure you're eating well. That's like my go to when I get through periods that for other people could be over what they call overwhelming or uncertain or too much. I immediately say, okay, I got to take care of my mind. I got to take care of my body. So that means I have. So even now, I'm in a season where y'all, I plan every day because it's what I do. There has not. Usually, no days go perfect, Sam. Yeah, self care. No days go perfect. None of my days ever go perfect. I'm a planner. I write down how I want the day to go. It never happens that way. But lately, it's even more like not going away that I plan for it to go, right? So my immediate go-to is okay, you can't be staying up all night burning the midnight oil and then you're not your best the next day. All right. Because you're missing your high quality energy zones because you're still trying to get into the groove. So I made a commitment to myself. You're gonna have to get enough sleep. It's gonna have to be a minimum of 6. I'm back. I'm like, I'm gonna eat the best that I can. I wouldn't say I'm going raw or nothing like that, but I'm eating, I'm getting my exercise in. So when I get off here, I'm gonna go get on my bike for like 15 high quality minutes. I already did my morning workout, right? I made sure this morning before I did anything. It is tempting. Now, this is really what I want to share with y'all. It's tempting when you get busy for your time with God to go to the side. You think I don't have time. Like I need, and I almost fell into the trap this morning. This morning I was like, I got so much to do, Lord. I don't know how long it's going to take for the Holy Spirit to arrive. I'm waiting on the presence of the Lord, and I got to read this devotion and study Acts and pray and all these things. And I'm thinking about all the things I had to do, and I'm like, but you know what? You can't do any of it well until you talk to Him. So slow yourself on down. That's a routine that I have that I do. So even today, I'm reading this book with my friend for Lent. This is one of the things we're doing. This book called, it's a devotional, I think. Yeah, it's a 40-day devotional called The Red Letter Challenge. All right. So I'm gonna tell you, I started reading this thing, and in the beginning, I was thinking, this kind of basic Christianity, I don't need this. I was like, I kind of know that because the first few pages were talking about, just spending time with God and making sure you have time to pray and read the word, and you had a little scriptures in here, and I'm like, I know all this. But today, the suggestion was for me to go, or for whoever is reading the book at that point, they gave a list of things that you could do to spend quality time with God. And one of them was go for a walk and listen to worship music. So he gave a whole list of things. Out of those things, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do the prayer walk. When I tell you I didn't have time to do a prayer walk, I did not have, and in my mind, I'm like, I do not have time to be. I said, okay, I'm gonna go out here, Lord, and I'm gonna listen to 3 worship songs, and I'm out. Yeah, when I tell you I had the most amazing time with God this morning, just because I took that time, and I was out there much longer than I expected. but I stayed until the Holy Spirit told me to come in. So what I'm saying is, a lot of times when we are dealing with times that could be stressful or they're uncertain, the first thing we're going to let go of is the things that fill us up, right? We're going to push those things to the side. So you cannot allow, like, talking to God, that needs to be a part of your regular routine. You need to make sure you adhere to that. Get enough sleep. Make sure you're drinking your water. Exercise. Eat the right foods, right? Do some things that help you unwind. I don't know if it's a bubble bath for you. I don't know what it is. As long as it don't harm your body, do it. If it's gonna, put some fuel in your backpack. Okay. So normally taking care of ourselves, that goes last on the list because we're trying to do all the things to fix the things that we're uncertain about. And you should be actively working to, this is what I believe about God. You should be actively moving and taking forward action. But this is what I believe about God. I think that God is waiting on us to move. He's waiting on our action. So in order for me to know what moves he want me to make, I got to be in conversation with him. So I have to have conversation with him so I can know what it is that he needs for me to do. As I start to move, God just kind of opens up these doors. And it just kind of the next thing. So I don't need, I started moving without knowing the next steps. I don't need to be certain all the time because all I got to do is put one foot in front of the other. He got the rest. He's going to tell me because he's with me. He's going to tell me where to go. He's going to tell me how long to stay, which direction to turn, when I need to pivot. But if I stop talking to him, then I have every reason in the world to be nervous, concerned, and stressed, and overwhelmed, and anxious, and all these things that people say they are. But when I trust that, I don't know what the end is going to be, and I don't know, but I know who has never let me down. I know who has provided for every need that I've had thus far, and he's going to continue. I believe he's going to continue to do the same thing. All right. So take care of yourself. Next, you're going to need you a solid squad. All right. You're going to have to be able to figure out who are the people in your life that you can lean on or reach out to when you need support. For some of us who've been raised to be independent, that could be difficult. Yes, Sam, turn to us. But listen, that could be difficult sometimes for us to reach out to people and say, I need help. But you have to sometimes ask your friends and family and whatever communities you are a part of, even if it's just for encouragement. If you have people in your circle who you can see evidence of excellence in their life, I would ask them for guidance. Like, you should have solid people in your life who can give you guidance, right? Where you can just share how you feel. Sometimes I'm a person who, sometimes we can process things as we speak. Maybe you just need somebody to hear you out, just hear what you're going through, hear how you're feeling, right? So that you can see, like, you're not by yourself. What you're going through, there's probably someone who's gone through it and who could probably help you as you go through it. All right. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to make sure that you, before tough times come, uncertain times come, and you don't know what to do next, start assessing the quality of your relationships. Who are the rock solid people that have shown you that they have the ability to remain in difficult times, that can shake the rest of the people from the tree? Who do you know is ride or die going to stay by your side? All right. Those are the people that you want to reach out to and ask for support, whether it's just a listening ear, if you need them to give suggestions on what to do, or just encouragement. All right. So get you some support. We have a community. I told y'all so many times, I run a community called the Success Squad. In the Success Squad, we literally on this video app called Marco Polo. And we sound the alarm. Has it been a rough day for me? This right here is giving me pause. This is what I was thinking. And I'm telling you, I have seen these ladies, somebody will say something, and I'm talking about immediate prayer. Immediate prayer. You need to be in a group of people who are winning and who want to help you win. Yep. Because we all gonna have difficult times, like Sam said. The difficult times are coming. So who's gonna be there with you when those times come? All right. So you got to get you some support. If you don't hear nothing else from me, we're not supposed to do life alone. We are not supposed to be alone. So who are those people? All right. Next, as difficult as it might be, stay positive. So I heard Myron Golden say there's two sides to every coin. You can choose which side you're going to look on. So focus on the things that you are grateful for. When you think about, like when I think about my life, There's some things that I desire that I do not have, but every need that I have is met. Every need that I have is met, and I'm thankful for that. Right. So try to find, I would be very intentional about adding gratitude to my um to my journal time. And another thing about journal time, I always encourage people to keep a journal. A lot of people don't. And I think it's because you think you have to write like a book. No, you can literally spend 5 minutes and just journal, just dump out your thoughts. Okay. So stay positive, focus on what you are grateful for, what is going well. And it's not that you're ignoring the things that aren't necessarily going the way that you want them to go, but you are choosing to focus on the side of the coin that's going to keep you from almost losing your mind. All right. So it's about just looking at it from a different perspective, reframing the situation. All right. So take that negative thought and reframe it into something positive. Just put a different frame around it, all right? So that you can see things in a more optimistic way. If you sit around all day and think negative thoughts, you're gonna just bring negativity into your spirit, and it's gonna affect everything. It's gonna affect the way you behave. You might miss a connection. I was literally, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, probably can tell me people. So I was in Costco today, and actually I go to Costco a whole lot. Okay, it is my jam. So at least once a week, I'm in the Costco. So the ladies who give out the samples in Costco, we've gotten acquainted with them. My son is friendly. I'm friendly. We've gotten very acquainted with them. So I was talking to one of the young ladies today, and after our conversation, she was like, "You never know who you're going to meet." She's like, you never have any idea who you're going to meet. And it made me think about the fact that I see these ladies every week. I don't know a lot about them. They don't necessarily know a lot about me. We've never taken the time to really get to know each other. But it was such a refreshing experience to have that conversation with them, right? And we were just saying, like, you never know who you're going to encounter. So always, I'm saying this to say, always be on the lookout for what could change in an instant. Always be on the lookout for what could move in your favor and in a second. All right, you just don't know. So just like I met that lady, we end up connecting. We had a great conversation, exchanged phone numbers. I just met her at Costco, but expect good things to happen instead of focusing on what's not going your way. Because truthfully, a lot of stuff is just not going to go your way because it's not how life works. All right. So in these like challenging times when you just don't know what to do next, focus on manage your thoughts. Okay. Be focused on more what you're grateful for. All right. The next thing I would absolutely not do, and I say this is whether you feel certain or not, do not watch the news. Okay. Just don't do it. The majority of the stories, um, this falls under the what are the things that you can control umbrella. Everything changed for me mentally when I stopped watching the news. And when I am telling you, I am so lost sometimes about what's happening in the world. But nothing about my life has changed. My spirit is just more joyful and peaceful. It's more joyful and peaceful. So I don't know. I literally do not. People like, did you hear about the? Mm-mm. And if I'm in a position, in a space where I feel like I'm not able to receive that information and I don't feel fortified, I tell somebody, and don't tell me. I didn't hear about it, and please don't tell me because I'm not even trying to go down that road. Okay. So be very aware of how much news and information you take in. If it's not information that is going to help you get more clear on what to do in your situation, help you feel better in your spirit, or help you become a better version of yourself, I would say please just remove it. All right, because all the news is going to do is make you more stressed, more anxious, and I don't know. Some of us grew up watching the news, so it's a way of like my husband when we when we first stopped watching the news, he was like, but when we first got rid of our cable, because we don't have cable, and I don't know why, but anyway, we don't have cable. So when we first got rid of it, he was like, am I gonna be able to watch the news? So before I could make the transition, I had to figure out a way that he was gonna be able to watch the news. Now we don't, my husband used to watch the news every day. We do not watch the news anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because all it is just negative. It's not gonna do anything to help you feel any better. So you don't need the exposure. It's nothing that you could really do about it anyway. Okay. The next thing I need you to do is focus on the now. Like, don't Focus on the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Don't focus on what happened behind you. Don't get too much weight to what's ahead of you. Do the best you can to stay right where you are. All right. And for me, that experience that I had with God, I feel like you have to have that multiple encounters with Him like that a day in seasons like this so that you can know that it's okay for you to take whatever is weighing you down and give it to Him. All right. And so that's really all I got, y'all. I think I gave y'all 6 or 7 things. I got to focus on what you can control. You are not God, and half the situations that you have in your life you can't fix without Him. So you need to trust Him and move when He tells you to move. All right. So focus on the things that are under your control. I can absolutely control what time I go to bed. I can absolutely control what time I wake up. I absolutely can control what I do with the hours that are mine. All right. So focus on the things that you have control over, but be flexible because things can change. So be open to pivoting, making new decisions and making new moves because your situation has changed. Take care of yourself. Don't let yourself go down. Don't lay in the bed all day ruminating and thinking about it. Get up, get active, take care of you. All right. Get you a success squad. Start evaluating. You can start planning today for things that haven't even come your way. So you can start developing a success squad today. Who is in your success squad? You can start vetting those people today. So who do I have around me that's going to hold me up when things don't look the way I want them to look? All right. Get you a strong support community. I promise you it will change everything. All right. Focus on the right side of the coin. Stay positive, optimistic. Don't let the news steal your joy. All right, because the news is going to snatch it all and just stay right here in the present. Staying in the present is something that a lot of us find difficult to do anyway. We're so focused on what happened in the past, how we got here, what we should have did. Had we did this, this would have never happened. Well, if I do this, this is going to happen. Okay, you just need to know that stay right here. This is all you have. All I have control over is this right here. This next moment, what I choose to do every single moment. All right. Even things like getting on here. Like I enjoy it. I have a great time chit-chatting with y'all. I love Sam is my baby. Sam been hanging with me all week. That's my homie. Yep, that's my homie. He been hanging with Miss Patty Brown, hanging with me all week. Okay. And so I enjoy these things are fun for me. But this is really about doing what I told myself I was going to do when I had the option to do something different. All right. So I told myself I'm going live all week. I truthfully could, honestly, if I really committed, I could do this every day. I really could because this is what I was created like to do. So I could do this every day, but I told myself I'm gonna do it every day this week. So when life is lifing and it's bedtime, I'm gonna do what I told myself I was going to do. I'm gonna do what I told myself I was going to do. So I told myself I would do my second workout tonight. It might only be 15 minutes, but I'm gonna do it as soon as I get off here. So what I'm saying is that's all you have control over. What it's the very next thing that you do. You can't control next week. We have a running joke in my family when I was much younger. Yeah, I've always been. I know people find this hard to believe. I've always been a homebody. So I used to say, like, if somebody say, "You want to go somewhere with me on Thursday?" And I'd be like, "No, I don't think I'm gonna feel like it," because I like to be at home. I've always preferred to just be in my own house. So, COVID threw me for a loop, but it worked for me. I was like, I ain't complaining. People was like, "You don't get tired of being in your house?" I do not. I like it here, and I've always felt that way. So, my mom was like, "How you gonna know that you ain't gonna feel like doing it next week, next Thursday?" And I'm like, I don't know. But it's about I did not want to say yes, and then I gotta go and I don't feel like it. I've always been that way. So anyway, I'm just saying, all you have is right now. Don't even worry about next week. Okay. You have this very moment. That's all you need to focus on. All right. So listen, guys, this world we live in is so full of just moments where things can change in a moment's notice. I was on a call today and somebody said, she said it in the most calm and peaceful voice. She said, I got laid off last week. I don't even remember which call I was on. I was on call today. And the person on the call said, I got laid off yesterday. And she said, but I'm okay. And she was excited about the opportunity. These those moments like that, she couldn't have that moment if she was stressing out and super duper focused on what is about to happen. Hey, Callan, she couldn't have had that moment if she was super duper stressed about what's coming her way, or if she was so focused on how did I get here, right? She is right here. She's like, in this moment, I am okay. I don't know what's next, is what she said. She said, I don't know what's next. You know, I'm pretty sure her thoughts about, her home, the economics of her household, might have been a concern. Like, being able to find a job. What else do you do? We get kind of comfortable at our places of employment, and we don't always want to pack it up and go somewhere else. But she said, I am okay. I'm okay. And so just know that it could always be worse. And so every day you got to get up, you got to put one foot in front of the other, not knowing, what I'm saying? All you need is the direction. You just need God to give you the direction to move in, and you just move every day. You move every day. All right. Don't let nothing stop you from moving every single day. All right. That's it. And so what we do is we get stuck because I don't know what to do. I'm just going to stand here and I'm going to be ruminating about where I am and all the things that can happen. Right. And what's going on and how I feel about it. Right. And it's difficult to even get yourself to a positive place when you do that. It is difficult to see that things can get better. But see, when I feel that way, I have to check myself because I remember the same God. Same God. Same God. I'm gonna tell y'all another story. I'm gonna tell y'all the story because it's probably gonna make me cry. And I pray it don't. I'm not trying to cry on here, but I had two. Let me see which one I want to tell you about. My son, if you've ever met my son, he's a very special boy. So when Aiden was about 3 years old, he came down with a fever. He was in daycare. He came down with a fever. There was a lot of things going on at the school. So he comes home with a fever, and I'm trying to remember. I remember the story vividly. I remember the days. I think it was a Tuesday because I was heading to a meeting. So he was with his grandma was home watching him, and his grandma, I told her, give him the Tylenol or what have you, and she did. So I remember the next day, fever didn't break. We called a doctor and they said, it's no worries. Go ahead and just keep alternating. So we did that on Wednesday. We did this all week, y'all, with the doctors. We did it all week. So I don't know, it was like on Friday, it was like fire shot up in my bones. And I was like, I don't know what's wrong with my baby, but they're going to see my baby on Monday. They're going to see, like, I'm not calling you. You're going to see my baby Monday morning. And so we go to the doctor, and by this time he has like different symptoms. It's not just the fever. He's very, very, very lethargic. He has other things that I don't notice, like his tongue is red, and he has these little like red, like kind of spots on him. I'm trying to remember what else, but he just is not himself. So we go to the doctor, and I'm looking up all these symptoms at this point as me and the doctor are talking, and it's one condition comes up, and I'm like, oh Lord, don't let it be that. So the doctor goes out and he's running all these tests, and he comes back, and I can just tell by the look on his face. I'm like, what's the news? And he's like, he goes through and he's like, okay, he starts asking questions like, who's here? Who came with you? Like, do you have somebody who can come pick you up? Or can you have somebody who can bring you things from home? I'm like, what are we doing, doc? And he's like, listen, I need you to go to the children's hospital, and I need Aiden to be admitted immediately. And he tells me that Aiden has Kawasaki disease. The same thing I looked up, and I'm like, Lord, please don't let it be that, because of everything that was being said about it. I'm like, I don't want my baby to have that. It was talking about how it could be fatal. And it was just hard, y'all. It was like, oh my God. So of course, like I began to cry. And this is why I love my son's doctor, like the most amazing doctors. And so the doctor, hey Phyllis. So the doctor says, you got to go now. There's like no time. So you have to go now. So we go directly he said, they'll be waiting for you. You tell them, like, I guess we were already it was fast. It was like, we just said, hey, we here to see Dr. So-and-so. We were in a room. And so that night, my son is just laying there. I got pictures. But anyway, the point is, they go through the night of like a process of like eliminating other things to make sure it's not like meningitis and all these other things. And they come back at the end of the night, late that night, and they say it's Kawasaki. So they tell me, so y'all, I am afraid. I am afraid, afraid, afraid. I'm like, Lord, I need y'all to know this is the son I prayed for. Like I legit asked God to give me this baby, and He gave me this child. This the boy came out looking exactly like I prayed for. I promise y'all. So I'm like, not my child. So they end up treating him, but I'm saying all this to say, like, we went through that situation. They treated him. My baby walked out of that hospital looking just like himself, right? So when I think about times when things are difficult or I don't know what happens next, I have to remember, same God, same God. Aiden had to go to like appointments after because one of the risks of Kawasaki. So what it is like your immune system is the Kawasaki disease is basically your immune system is attacking your blood vessels. So there's a threat that like the children can have like heart problems, issues with their blood vessels, all sorts of things. Like, so there's so many follow-up appointments they have to go to afterwards. And they say it's typically found in Asian children. So nobody can tell me how he got it. But I'm saying all this to say that was one of the scariest moments of my life. Okay. Same God though. Same God. Same God that let my baby walk out that hospital with all the stuff that I was reading that had me afraid. And as long as I was looking at what that internet page said and not asking God. So it was almost like this peace came over me that night. And I don't know, I couldn't explain it, but it was just calm. It was calm. So now on the other side, when I think about same God, it don't matter what it looked like to me. Same God that did that. The same God can handle whatever is before me. Everything before me. He got it. He got it. So me sitting here stressing, me sitting here worrying, I'm going to put all my confidence and faith in him because Tanisha can't do it. I'm going to put all my confidence and faith that he's going to send the right people who know the right thing. And that was my prayer. Lord, give us the doctors with the right eyes that can see everything we need to see. That come over my baby with a fine-tooth comb and know exactly how to treat him. I saw us. I said, Lord, I see us walking out of here. So for me, when we got ready to walk out, I videotaped that thing because I was like, this is what I asked God for. My baby walked out. He ran out. Okay. He was like, get me out of here. Okay. So I'm just saying, like, you have to remember all the times behind when you think of the past, think about all the things that you've already made it on. All right. So you have no idea what is the very next thing that can happen that could change everything in an instant. Believe for that. Believe for that thing that can happen in an instant. Okay. So don't stay stuck there or there. Stay right here. Trust in him. All right. Because you don't have the power to fix probably what you're so concerned about anyway. All right. So that's the jam, y'all. I said I was gonna be on here for 20 minutes, but I love y'all so much it just goes like this. We should have a meetup or something, you know. But anyway, that's all I wanted to share because I had several instances, several conversations today, and I talk to a lot of people on a daily basis. So several conversations today, and people are like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know, and you don't know you don't know what to do. You don't know what to do next until you ask God what to do next. And then you take that first little baby step that seems like it's nothing. All right. You take that first baby step that seems like it's nothing, and then he's going to show you what to do next, and next, and next, and next, and next, and next. This is how you get to these places in your life when you look back, you like, how, Lord? And you then begin to see he was orchestrating something all along. So I really know that my experience with Aiden, it changed everything. Hey, Aunt Niecy, it changed everything for me. My baby went through that because I learned like it was nothing I could have done about the Kawasaki. Not a doggone thing. But trust him. So I learned to surrender in that period of my life. I learned to surrender because I had nothing. There was nothing I could do. I had no power or strength. All of it would come from him. So it taught me to surrender, is where I really learned to surrender. So I'm just saying everything might not be going clear. It might not be clear. You might feel like you can't see a way out of nowhere. You feel like I don't know what's gonna happen next. But you're gonna keep believing that the same God that brought you out of so many things before will do it again. All right. And you're gonna focus on what's going well. And it's not that you're ignoring the things that are going, you're gonna choose to look at the positive side of the coin. You're gonna block every piece of negativity that tries to come your way. You're gonna get you a solid squad of people. You're gonna take care of yourself. All right. And you're going to focus on what you can control. All right. I love y'all all the way to life. Okay. So if y'all have topics, I told y'all if I got a couple people on Facebook, a couple people on Instagram. My Facebook, Instagram people, please go to at Coach Tooker on YouTube and follow me. I feel the day is coming that I'm just gonna be on YouTube because I have 3 different screens up. It's so weird, but I do it for y'all. Okay. So I love y'all to life. I pray that y'all have an amazing evening. And we're gonna try our best to do. I know for a fact we're gonna do this thing earlier tomorrow because tomorrow's my date night. So we will not be partying late tomorrow. Okay. All right. Love y'all to life. Have an amazing evening and y'all get plenty of rest. Take care of yourself. See you tomorrow.